Coming up on Chapman News, there's a new sheriff in town. Daniele Strupa, Chapman's new president, lays out his plans for the future.
Plus, a long-awaited response from the Orange police chief in regards to his orientation comments, but not everyone is pleased.
And the 15th anniversary of the deadliest terrorist attack in America is this Sunday. We have the scoop on how one city is commemorating the tragic events of 9/11.
Good morning and happy Friday, everyone.
And welcome to the first show of the year. I'm Evan Arani.
And I'm Fiona Zaring. Let's get started. The Daniele Strupa era has officially begun. Reporter Andrea Current introduces the new boss.
As the school year starts up at Chapman, so does a new university president. On September 1st, former Chancellor Daniele Strupa began his first day at the head of the institution following Jim Doty's 25-year career. With a new president comes a new vision as plans of progress continue for Chapman.
And I want us to become nationally as well as internationally recognized as a center of excellence, a center of both academic and personal excellence. And I think Chapman right now is an institution that is incredibly well regarded on the West Coast, in general in the Western region. And I think our goal is to become equally well regarded across the country.
Over the past several years, Chapman University has seen a rapid increase of applicants. To accommodate this new increase, President Strupa hopes to gradually grow the university by a couple thousand students, in addition to offering more majors and programs. He also plans to plant deeper roots in the local community.
Right now, I think the local community, especially in Santa Ana, maybe Anaheim, look at us as maybe an unreachable school, unattainable school. Well, Chapman is, And I want that to change. I want them to look at us and say, Chapman is one of the places I'd like my kid to go.
Finally, President Strupa is looking to focus on the university's name recognition with the aim of making Chapman a place that comes into conversations alongside some of the most esteemed academic institutions of the nation.
Frankly, I'd like the rest of the university to acquire the same visibility and quality that we see in the Dodge College. Most students in the Dodge College come from all around the country. That's because wherever you live, people think of Dodge as the destination. I want to see that become the norm for the rest of the university.
With so many new opportunities ahead, the Chapman community can look forward to everything President Strupa has in store. From Memorial Lawn, this has been Andrea Current, Chapman News.
President Strupa's inauguration celebration is scheduled for September 30th.
It has been 2 weeks since the chief of the Orange Police Department, Tom Casella, delivered his controversial speech about sexual assault during orientation. Since his August 25th address, students and faculty alike have been waiting for any sort of clarification or response from him. And as of yesterday, it has arrived. In a guest column he wrote for The Panther, Casella attempted to explain and justify his misunderstood comments. However, students were angered yet again when he said, quote, "As for furthering patriarchal values, yes, I am." Chief Casella was unable to come on our program to further comment on this issue.
Sunday is the 15th anniversary of the nation's deadliest terror attack, and special events will be held across the country in memoriam. In Huntington Beach, a dedication ceremony will be held to unveil a monument dedicated to the first responders and victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks that killed almost 3,000 people. After 5 years of setbacks, the committee will unveil the monument, which features 2 pieces of steel recovered from Ground Zero and 2 9.5-foot-tall granite pillars. The ceremony will take place from 2 to 4 at Huntington Beach City Hall.
Major changes made to what helps many students get a college education, the FAFSA. 2 changes on the application, the first being that the FAFSA will now be available to submit starting on October 1st of this year for the 2017-2018 school year. In the past, the opening date was January 1st.
For students who are currently enrolled at a university, who are currently enrolled at Chapman, we are hopeful that we're going to be able to get financial aid packages out to students much earlier. Hopefully sometime in the early spring semester, versus most students, returning students, receive their award in the summer.
Filing soon may be an advantage to early birds as some schools give aid on a first-come, first-served basis. FAFSA will also now use 2 years of prior tax information to grant aid instead of just 1. That means that students filing for the 2017 school year will be using 2015 taxes instead of 2016 taxes.
The main benefit for students is that instead of having to estimate on your FAFSA, you will be able to use the IRS data retrieval tool, which will import all of your tax information into the FAFSA without having to manually input it yourself, because that year's tax return should already be filed. So that means you're going to have a more accurate financial aid package.
The change may be beneficial to high school seniors and Chapman students who will both find out in early spring their financial aid package for the coming school year. In the past, students have been informed of their financial aid package during the summer. This may prove to be difficult for families who have had a drastic income change between 2015 and 2016, as the changes will not be seen by schools. Families are encouraged to visit their school's financial aid office for more information.
On Tuesday, the Orange County Sheriff's Department announced a new union contract that will increase deputies' pay by nearly 9% over the next 3 years. This increase will cost taxpayers a total of $62.2 million over that time period, and 60% of the funds will come from the county, while the rest is expected to be funded by payments from contract cities, state funds, and federal grants. This pay increase comes after the department was sued in February when 3 county jail inmates escaped because of staff reductions, unsafe jail conditions, and operational missteps.
And joining us now in the studio are our guest, Connor Williams, is a very familiar face here. Connor, thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's good to be here, and it is good to see familiar faces too. That always makes it better.
So you are a recent grad. Will you give everyone watching a little bit of your background with Chapman?
Definitely. So I came here, I'm originally from the Bay Area, and I came here as a television broadcast journalism major, very familiar to you guys, and I minored in advertising. And then I also played baseball here for 4 years, and then I was on the debate team, and then I was also president of our student athlete advisory committee too.
Now you're leaving tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing from tomorrow onwards?
So I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to the Marine Corps Officer Candidate School, which is in Quantico, Virginia. And I'm going to be there hopefully for the full 10 weeks, which would then, after the 10 weeks, I'd graduate, and then I'd stay there for another 6 months as a second lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps.
So why the Marines? What drew you to the Marines?
That's an interesting question. I shopped around to all the different branches, and I decided on the Marine Corps because the people that I talked to, they seemed so similar to me. The competitiveness, the attention to detail, the perfectionist, they seemed to all love their job, and they seemed to all feel that they were all really valuable, and I wanted that. And after I started going to PT workouts and started meeting more people, I realized this is right up my alley. This is perfect for me.
And obviously you graduated with a degree in broadcast journalism. Is there
Yes.
any chance you'll maybe incorporate that into your future?
Yes, so that's a question that my mom's actually been asking me and trying to make sure that I do something like that. So the more research I did, I found there was a public affairs officer position that I would be doing as a new officer. If I was doing social media, I'd be more of a producer, or if I was doing print journalism, I'd be more of an editor of a newsroom. And I read that and thought, this is perfect, this is what I've been training for, this is what I'm excited to do, this is what I want.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Connor. Yeah, and coming up after the break, California home prices again at an all-time high. Professor Lynn Doty tells us how we can avoid the next housing bubble.
And issues with this phone's battery may lead to an explosion. You're watching Chapman News. We'll be right back.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Take your life to new heights. Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
Lynn Doty, a Chapman economics professor for 45 years, has released her second book, and Leatherby Library took the time to celebrate her accomplishment. Her book is titled Financing California Real Estate, Spanish Missions to Subprime Mortgages, and is based off of her years of research and countless articles of California financing. She found her inspiration when she learned that over 100 years of the same phenomenon has shaped California real estate.
Why it's Financing California Real Estate is that I went through all of that data and looked at the real estate lending and used that to determine where there were booms and busts in the real estate market, which then kind of partially looks at the economy. And I didn't work on that part too much, but I at least wanted to identify whether in fact this real estate funding reflected booms and busts, and whether those booms and busts preceded or followed changes in the economy. And boy, it was amazing. And so every chapter is a particular real estate bubble in California history.
A copy will be available for students in the library, and another will join the collection of other books written by Chapman professors. Professor Lynn Doty is the main professor of economics at Chapman's Ardrose School of Business, where her husband and past Chapman president Jim Doty now teaches.
There are some new food options on campus this year. Nicole Renard has the story.
It's a new year with new students, so there's no better time for brand new food options. Over the summer, not only were Chapman Restaurant Services busy with a makeover for Randall Dining Commons, but they also added an extension onto the dining area called 12. The additional food option will provide snacks, drinks, and coffee after the cafeteria closes.
12 is actually a lounge, so aside from just having the grab-and-go snacks, the
some.
chef-prepared recipes,
we
we also offer the ability to hang out. We have these spaces where you can study. We're open convenient late hours when all the other venues are closed, so you can kind of come, we're footsteps away from the residency areas, which is really nice.
You don't have to have a meal plan to enjoy 12. The snack stop is open to all Chapman students.
During operating hours, our attendant will be glad to help, whether you're a guest on campus or you're a teacher or you're a student. We do take cash card and the residency Panther Bucks as well. So.
On top of the snacks students can purchase at 12, they can also make and enjoy a meal in just 12 minutes.
In my kitchen is really cool because you get to pick different components and assemble your own entree. Whether you're going to have a ramen noodle salad, you can choose from chicken. There's some amazing tofu and very different recipes that change every 12 weeks, hence the 12.
The 12 is open right when the cafeteria closes, from 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. for those students who miss dinner or get the late night munchies. Reporting from the 12, I'm Nicole Renard, Chapman News.
See, at first I was a little worried about losing Doy's late night pizza, but I think 12 will be a great addition.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be great.
Perfect. And Apple made an important announcement on Wednesday at their September keynote event. The new iPhone 7 was unveiled, and a notable feature was missing: the headphone jack. Apple's marketing exec Phil Schiller said the removal was motivated by, quote, courage, though some of the internet has been calling it inconvenient. Users of the new device are now encouraged to purchase wireless headphones in order to listen to audio, but purchases of the iPhone 7 will come with a headphone jack adapter. Airbuds retail for $150. The upgraded iPhone has a dual lens camera, is water resistant, and has up to 256 gigabytes of available space.
Chapman is taking us out to the ball game this weekend.
And it looks like we have reporter MVP Courtney Bankhead live at Angel Stadium giving us the info. Courtney?
Thanks so much, Evan. Tomorrow night, Panthers will be joining the Angels here at the Angel Stadium for the second annual Chapman Family Night. LA Angels will be heading it up against the Texas Rangers, and to kick off the evening at 4:30 will be Chapman's very own and very free tailgate zone. Here with me to tell us a little bit more about what's going on tomorrow is Brian Sanders, current director of ballpark operations and also fellow Chapman alum. Thanks so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Now tell us a little bit about what's going on tomorrow night.
So we've got 1,200 tickets that have been sold at angels.com/Chapman if you want to purchase them at the last minute for a Chapman Angels night out here at the ballpark. We will be having an exclusive tailgate for all of our Chapman family over at the Gate 5 courtyard beginning when gates open.
Awesome, awesome. And I know that Chapman University is only a mile away, really close to Angels. We have a close relationship. Tell us a little bit more about what that is.
So the partnership's been a great one. Our chairman, Dennis Kuhl, is actually heavily involved with the school and has sort of fostered that relationship along the way. Chapman's also served as a pipeline for us for students coming out of college that are looking for internships. And we actually have currently have 6 Chapman alum that are full-time front office staff members with the Angels.
Cool. And exclusively for our Chapman News viewers, anything special you want to announce about tomorrow night?
So when you go to angels.com/Chapman and buy your tickets for tomorrow night over in the Gate 5 courtyard, up until about the 5th or 6th inning, you'll be able to take your ticket and go and redeem it for a special Chapman Angels co-branded hat. You can see Chapman University on the back, and we also, if you flip it over, we've got the Panther underneath the bill for you.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you heard it from Brian. The event is sure to be a hit this year as it was in the past. 1,200 seats were sold last year, probably is going to sell out. So make sure you get your tickets as soon as you can. Thank you so much, Brian. And throwing it back over to you guys in the studio. I'm Courtney Bankhead with Chapman News.
That hat is so exciting. Thank you, Courtney. We cannot wait for this weekend. If you want to purchase tickets, again, you can visit the Angels website for details.
Samsung is recalling nearly 2.5 million of their flagship smartphones over concern that the battery inside is potentially explosive. The South Korean-based tech giant announced it will be recalling and immediately halting the sale of all Galaxy Note 7 phones due to widespread reports from customers that the phone was catching on fire while charging. Samsung is advising all Note 7 owners to return their phones back to stores and wait for a new device with a different battery to become available. In exchange for the hassle, Samsung is offering all customers affected by the recall a $25 credit towards their monthly cellular bill, as well as a free Galaxy S7 or 7 Edge in lieu of another Note 7.
Chapman seniors can agree they've seen a decline of Disney annual pass holders since their freshman year, partly due to a spike in prices. Costco is offering a new option that may be attractive to Chapman students and Orange County residents.
For Chapman University students a few years ago, it seemed that paying for school tuition and a Disney pass were equally mandatory.
Everyone had one. I had one also.
As pointed out in Chapman admission tours, the statue of Charles C. Chapman can see the Disney fireworks nightly. With Chapman only a short distance away from the happiest place on earth, the option of seeing the fireworks almost as much as the statue excites future Panthers.
I was like, oh, Disneyland's only 10 minutes away. That's a plus.
In 2015, when Disney increased the prices of their premium annual pass by 35% and canceled a popular Southern California discounted option, that attraction came with a much bigger price sticker.
Now it's just like too expensive for me to...
Costco recently introduced a $330 annual pass for admission to Disney's California Adventure Park. While this option could be a more affordable key to the theme park, some students are willing to pay the pretty penny for access to the magical Mouse Land.
Definitely was more of a draw, especially because I've been obsessed with Disney since I was little.
Costco already offers a discounted pass for Universal Studios Hollywood, Knox So City, and Legoland.
400 to 500 dog attacks are reported in Orange County every year, and many of them occur in dog parks. Molly Casey found out what happens when a bark turns into a bite.
Dog park should be a place for your dog to run and play freely, but for one Orange resident, her daily trip to the dog park ended in an overnight vet stay. Friendly, fast, and full of energy.
You know, he gets a lot of attention.
Linda Miller and four-legged friend Rosie were frequent visitors to the Orange Dog Park, but the pair's last trip to the park left Rosie with 6 stitches.
And of course he had to wear the cone, which didn't go over too well.
Miller says she's seen accidents like this before, but now that Rosie has been a victim, she doesn't plan on going back.
The dog parks keep the vets in business around here.
Michael Sumners considers the park a safe place to let Andy play off-leash and says most of the fights in the park are minor.
It usually involves territorial behavior over a water dish or something like that.
Sumner believes most of the dog owners are responsible, so if there were to be an attack, they'd respond.
Yeah, there's a lot of regulars that come here, and so we kind of police ourselves.
A message to the Dog Park Association was answered on their behalf by a City of Orange representative, stating, "The Orange Dog Park does not have control over incidents in the park, and that OC Animal Care has jurisdiction over dog attacks." Miller says she'll still be taking Rosie out to local parks, but will be much more vigilant when she does.
And I will let him off leash to run, but I will keep him safe.
OC Animal Care says that if your dog is bitten, to call in a report on their hotline and to always use dog parks at your own risk. In Orange, I'm Molly Casey, Chapman News.
The Orange County Animal Care Hotline, along with tips on reporting dangerous dog behavior, can be found on their website.
The Plaza has seen a buffet of new restaurants open up in the past months, from burgers to pizza to pies. It seems only fitting that the next shop be a hot dog stand. Caroline Roth tells us more.
The Walk and Dog is Old Town Orange's newest restaurant, located on the corner of Maple Avenue and Goselle Street, right across from the filling station. I sat down with the owner, Scott Quinn, to find out what this little restaurant is all about.
I opened it because I wanted to be able to help the students in Chapman and some of the younger kids that are around the circle and families around the circle who didn't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money to get lunch, dinner. Here, hot dog, chips, and a drink, $7. Our hot dogs have no fillers, no additives. It's pure meat. It's a half beef, half pork hot dog in a natural casing, so you get a really good snap from the hot dog itself. Great flavor. The bread, it's all artisan bread, so it's made fresh for my store. We opened on the 20th of last month, but our official grand opening day was this past Friday on the 2nd.
Cooler temperatures are finally about to hit Southern California.
And with our first weather report of the year, we have Avali May to tell us what to expect. Avali?
Thanks, guys. It is a beautiful day today here in Orange. We're looking at 77 degrees right now, 10% chance of rain, so there is little to no chance of anything raining on your parade today. Looking at this weekend for today for Orange County. Up in the northernmost part of Orange County, we have Westminster, 75 degrees, and Orange, like we just said, 77. So we're looking at warmer temperatures up here. And as we go along the coast down to Newport Beach, 74 degrees, again, nice weather. And Irvine, Laguna Beach, and San Clemente, all in the 73s. Mission Viejo, a little bit further inland, we're looking at 75, nice weather all over OC. Looking more towards Southern California, we have Santa Barbara at 71 and Avalon at 70. So a little bit chillier if you're planning on taking a walk near the ocean. Nice sweater might be a pretty good idea. Looking at more of the cities, we have Los Angeles, 76 degrees, and Anaheim at 78, warming up a little bit there. And looking over at Big Bear, 73 degrees at Big Bear Lake, and Palm Springs, a scorching 98. Down the coast again, Oceanside and San Diego, 74 degrees there as well. Going into our 5-day forecast, looking at today, Friday, partly cloudy, but again, we're going to be hitting hotter temperatures at 79 degrees, low 64. Saturday, again, warm, but you're going to have a lot of clouds to cover that sun up for you when we hit 80 degrees, low 63. Sunday, it'll start to clear up a little bit and actually start to cool down Sunday and Monday, both in the 76 range. And Tuesday, we're going to bring the temperature up just a little bit again to 78. Now, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I have a nice weekend with nice weather, I like to hit the park. Down in Newport Beach, we're looking at mostly sunny. There's just going to be a lot of sun and sunshine out there. 72 degrees, so it's really not too hot, not too cold weather. Perfect for taking your family taking your family on a picnic, taking the dog for a walk, or if you're like me, I'd hit up the Lighthouse Beach in Newport Beach to catch me some Pokemon. Now off to Matt for sports.
Avali, we've got a special interview with Chapman head football coach Bob Owens coming up, as well as a men's and women's soccer recap.
Odds of becoming an astronaut, 1 in 13,200,000. Odds of being struck by lightning, 1 in 576,000. Odds of dating a supermodel, 1 in 88,000. Odds of bowling a perfect game, 1 in 11,500. Odds of being trapped in an elevator, 1 in 24,528. Odds of catching a ball at a major league game, 1 in 563. Odds of an injury from shaving, 1 in 6,585. Odds of tripping while texting, 1 in 10. Odds of getting cancer in your lifetime, 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women.
It's up to us.
To change the odds for our generation.
For the ones we love. For our future.
If you don't like the odds, stand up. Stand up to cancer.
Emergencies and disasters happen with little or no warning and often occur while you are away from home. Be ready for emergencies by registering your alternate phone numbers, cell phones, and email addresses at alertoc.com. You will receive alerts when an emergency occurs near your workplace or neighborhood.
Hey, happy Friday to you. I'm Matt Brown with the best campus sports show, and we start off with a team that hasn't drawn a lot of headlines. And to call the Angels' 2016 season anything but a failure would be a lie, right? Well, maybe not. Our leader, Professor Pete Whitener, reports that in adversity, a person shows his character and a franchise shows its underlying strength.
Most Angels fans would sum up 2016 with two storylines: losses on the field and guys who couldn't get on the field. A record number of pitcher injuries, like lefty Tyler Skaggs.
I think nowadays guys play year-round. You know, you're getting ready for the season in December, so it's a lot of throwing. But I wish I did have an answer for you because I think I'd be a rich man.
It's obviously been a tough year for the Angels on the field, in the standings. Not so at the box office. Talk to coaches and players, and they're not surprised.
Because of the product that we put out there every day, and hopefully the type of game that we play and try to hustle and be aggressive, I hope that rubs off on the fans and they like it.
The Angels are on pace to average 38,000 fans per home game in 2016. Seventh best in baseball, and far and away, they're the only losing team in the top 10.
The Angels organization is great, you know. They treat their players with the utmost respect, and this is home for me. I don't want to go anywhere else.
Skaggs would know he's been with other teams, but at this annual confab with season's ticket holders and the wider community, not a critical comment was heard. Translation: give these Halo fans a few exciting, likable players, a fan-friendly atmosphere, and they'll bide their time a little till the injuries and wins come around. At the Stadium Club in Anaheim, Pete Whitener for Chapman News.
Great question, and I think that's the million-dollar question these days. How do you cut down on the injuries on a pitcher, especially Tommy John?
The Angels are on pace to lose 90 games, but they're also on pace to draw 1,000 fans per game more than last year. Our thanks to Pete Whitener for that story. Each week, Chapman University recognizes an athlete who went above and beyond for their team. Reporter Wolfie Tash has more with this week's Athlete of the Week.
This week's Athlete of the Week is women's soccer player Courtney Kingsmore. The senior tallied 2 goals and an assist in last Sunday's 4-2 comeback win over Lewis and Clark. Courtney is off to a hot start, leading her team in points and goals scored through their first 2 games in which the Panthers are 2-0.
Want to win. That's our main goal. We struggled a lot last season, and we're coming in this season super focused.
Courtney has been on the women's soccer team in each of her 4 years at Chapman. Since joining the team, she has scored 9 goals and tallied 24 total points in 44 career games with the team. Now, in her final season with the Panthers as one of the team captains, she knows that this will be her last chance to bring the Skyac crown back to Chaptown.
The Lady Panthers are holding one more practice today before they get on the road to good old Dallas, Texas, where they will take on Carroll University in a weekend friendly. Reporting here from Wilson Field, I'm Wolfie Tash for Chapman News.
Courtney will finish her final season with the Panthers this fall before walking the stage in May. We stay on the pitch for men's soccer. They faced Whitman Monday in their second game of the season and last before Skyac play. Let's take a look at the highlights. The Panthers getting hyped before the game. They're looking to stay undefeated, go 2-0, and they came out firing, out shooting their opponents 5-1 in the first half, but unable to convert until junior forward Grant Fremerly going down in the 22nd minute. That penalty was in the box, so it's a PK for Sam Rudick, and he converts. That ends up being the Panthers' only goal of the game. So what do they have to do? Play defense. And they do for the rest of the game. They hold on for the 1-0 victory over Whitman.
Yeah, we're getting good chemistry, getting a lot of good playing time. Not too many injuries, which is really good. We're looking forward to a great season. Focus, just winning Skyac. We really don't have any other standards besides being champions.
That's senior Sam Rudick on the interview, and when he was asked if the Panthers were all right with a second or third place finish, Rudick said absolutely not. He and the team will get to face a couple of Skyac opponents at home in the upcoming week. The men's soccer team will be playing conference opponents Saturday and Wednesday, as you can see, Occidental and Whittier. 7 p.m. tomorrow night, Whittier on Wednesday, a matinee at 4 p.m. And then we introduced the women's volleyball team to campus. They'll be hosting Claremont Mudscripts in their home opener at 7 p.m. next week, Friday. Now, one of the games not listed there happens to be the most highly anticipated game of the young season. The Panthers travel to Oregon today, so we sat down with the head football coach, Bob Owens, to talk about their season opener. From the outside looking in, one could say that this is one of the toughest years you've had as a coach over the past few years. I mean, 2 years ago, you said goodbye to that senior class that earned the Skyac championship. Last year, headlined by Chapman's all-time leader in rushing yards, Jeremiah McKibbins. So this year, what does this team have to bring to the table?
You know, that's a great question. Like I said, we have 14 seniors, but of those 14 seniors, I mean, there's going to be some pretty dynamic guys in there. For us, and what we talk to our guys about a lot is here's some great opportunity. And so our guys, you know, I think they look at it that way, they embrace it that way. Are there questions? Yeah, but hopefully Linfield is such a strong opponent, which is our first football game. They're such a strong opponent that wherever those weaknesses are, we're going to see them immediately, not just offensively, but on both sides of the ball.
You mentioned Linfield. They're your first opponent this season.
Right.
Just like last season, right? Early
It's
on
like the season before that.
Like the season before that.
Right.
So how did you like the challenge of going against such a perennially strong football program?
I think that's, you know, you can look at it two ways, but I think that's one of the best things that we've done for our football program. Linfield may be one of the winningest football programs in all of college football. So what a great task for us. Right now, they're number 2 in the nation coming in. It's a test. It's an opportunity for us. We're going to find out a lot about ourselves immediately. If there are some broken places, we're going to see them immediately. If there are some strengths that we have that we didn't know about, we'll get a chance to recognize those things as well.
The Panthers look for their first win against the Wildcats Saturday at noon. That's tomorrow. Linfield does offer free radio broadcasts as well as a pay-per-view video stream on their athletics website if you would like to watch the Panthers live. But if you want to just watch regular television over the weekend and into the fall, Sophia Cycli has more for you. Sophia.
Thanks, Matt. Coming up, we've got the best of fall TV shows that you have to watch. And a special guest is coming to Chapman tonight. I'm Sophia Cycli. You're watching Chapman News.
Stand up for what's right. Chapman University. Passion, perseverance, teamwork, integrity. Create value in the world. The School of Law at Chapman University. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Chemistry, physics, computational science, biology. Start doing research in your first year. Soar to new heights. The Schmidt College of Science at Chapman University. Explore.
A lot happening in the entertainment world, including comedian Nicole Byer coming to Chapman's Musco Center for the Arts tonight. We have Sophia Cycli to tell us what else is happening this week.
Thank you, Evan. While school is back in session, fall TV is back in action with an awesome lineup. Got those DVRs ready. Some of the favorites so far include ABC's Designated Survivor, starring Kiefer Sutherland, in the political drama. NBC has a new comedy called The Good Place with Kristen Bell, and a new modern dramedy titled This Is Us that tells the stories of people who were each born on the same day and how their lives then begin to intersect. And CBS has a new comedy, The Great Indoors, about an adventure reporter who finds himself in charge of a group of millennials. That show stars Joel McHale. It's been a year and a half since Zayn Malik split from One Direction, and his solo career has really taken off. But now the singer is back with 1D. Well, not quite how you'd think. He's actually working on a scripted NBC drama inspired by his past experiences during his days in boy band life. According to Variety, the singer will collaborate with Law & Order creator Dick Wolf and wife Nicole for the show titled Boys. It will follow the formation of a successful boy band, capturing both the excitement and the pressure that comes along with life in the spotlight. So far, there is no official release date for the show. Today, two exciting events are happening. First up, some of the world's biggest stars are joining forces in the Stand Up to Cancer telecast this evening. Take a look.
Together, coast to coast.
Dare to dream big.
The reasons are many, but the cause, just one.
Let's build a world where cancer is no more.
Together, there's no stopping us.
If we all stand up to cancer together,
cancer's in for one hell of a fight.
This is a night you don't want to miss. A night so big, a night so special, that Hollywood's biggest and brightest stars will take center stage.
Let's build that world where every cancer patient says and believes, I will survive.
And you can be a part of it all.
Do it for your mom, for your child, for your best friend.
September 9th is the night, as we make a commitment to research, as we celebrate scientists and patients, as we all
stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up to cancer. A one-night event, live Friday, September 9th at 8/7 Central.
The event will broadcast live from the Music Center's Walt Disney Concert Hall in downtown Los Angeles. And you can join in and stand up on social media by using the hashtag #ReasonsToStandUp. Finally, the second event is happening right here at Chapman. The university will host actress and comedian Nicole Byer, all thanks to Chapman University's program board. Byer was the backstage host of the MTV Video Music Awards a couple of weeks ago, and she now has her own new show called Loosely Exactly Nicole that airs Mondays on MTV. If you want to see Nicole Byer tonight, the event starts at 9 p.m. in the Musco Center for the Arts. Tickets are free for Chapman students. And I will see you all there. That is your very latest in all things entertainment. I'm Sophia Cycli. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Sophia. Now, every Labor Day weekend, hundreds of thousands of Orange County residents make their way down to the Orange Circle for a fun weekend for all ages. Reporter Hiro Ueno has more on the story.
The
The smell of Greek gyros and the sound of Japanese takoyaki being fried means that it's time for the city's annual Orange City International Food Fair. It's a celebration of food, culture, and music that surrounds the Orange City Circle and its surrounding neighborhood. Thousands of people from Orange County come out to see this event every single day, and it lasts about 3 days over the Labor Day weekend.
The fair, now in its 43rd year of operation, has seen a steady amount of annual growth over the decades, and this year is home to over 15 ethnic streets, 8 entertainment stages, and 42 food and alcohol booths. Many of the street fair vendors share a rich history with the city of Orange, like Greek Street's Gus and Spiros, who've been operating their annual food booth for 15 consecutive fairs. The partners share their thoughts on what it's like to be immersed back in their home culture for a few days out of the year.
That definitely makes us feel at home when we speak our language, our roots, our custom. It's all very, very important. And of course we speak English too.
The breadth and diversity of the fair is shown in both its different ethnic streets and large attendance rates. Annually, over 500,000 some-odd attendees get a taste of England, Asia, Polynesia, America, Italy, Greece, Japan, Switzerland, Lebanon, Mexico, Australia, and many more. I wish I had time to cover all of them this year, but for now, this is Hiro Ueno reporting from the Orange Circle, Chapman News.
If you missed it this year, the International Street Fair will be back next Labor Day weekend for its 44th consecutive year.
And that does it for us this Friday. Log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our episodes, Chapman Newsy bios, and top headlines.
And make sure you also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Chapman News, Twitter and Instagram @Chapman News, and youtube.com/Chapman News.
Right here, we got a live stream of Chapman News on our phone. Now, I think we got something right before we go.
Yep, right before the weekend starts, this week's weirdest headline comes from Italy, specifically the Italian Supreme Court, which officially ruled that
masturbating in public is no longer a crime. The decision came after a man was convicted for masturbating in front of students on a university campus. But after the case was appealed to the Roman Supreme Court, they ruled to overturn the conviction, making it no longer a crime to do the deed in public.
That definitely does it for us. I'm Fiona Zaring.
And I'm Evan Nurani. We'll see you next week.